Most Canadians spend decades building up their RSPs, contributing year after year, watching the balance grow to secure their retirement. But here's the problem. Once you hit retirement, that same RSP can quietly turn into one of your largest tax liabilities. I've seen retirees with millions of dollars in their RSPs, proud of the number, only to realize too late that much of it may not actually belong to them. Without some smart decisions, a big chunk could belong to the CRA. You don't have to be one of those people caught when it's too late. You can play this game differently. Don't wait until age 71 to figure it out. If it's right for your situation, you can start an RSP meltdown strategy years earlier to control when and how you're taxed. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how that works. Hi, I'm Stefano Francesca, Senior Wealth Advisor and Certified Financial Planner Professional at Next Step Wealth Management with IPC Securities Corporation. If you find this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps more Canadians see this and make smarter retirement decisions. And if you're approaching retirement or already retired, you can also click the link in the description to book a consultation with me. We work with our clients to review their current RSP investment strategy, identify where unnecessary taxes or clawbacks could occur, and build a personalized plan to help you keep more of what you've worked so hard for. Now, let's dive into the concept of an RSP meltdown and how it might be used to pay less tax, reduce future clawbacks, and build more flexibility into your retirement income plan. Part 1. Deferring might compound the tax problem. Maybe you've heard of the 4 Ds of tax planning. That's decrease, divide, deduct, and defer. RSPs are an amazing tax planning tool to take advantage of these 4 Ds. They work really well to reduce your current tax when you're working and in a high tax bracket as a tax deduction. And when they are growing, there's no yearly tax drag or tax consequence for the interest, dividends, or capital gains made within the plan. So that's decreasing your otherwise taxable distributions. Then in retirement, after deferring tax for decades, you take that pre-tax money, in theory, into income at lower tax rates. Then when taking RRSP income past age 65, you share or divide the income with your spouse. A very powerful tax planning tool. But here's the reality for many successful Canadians. By the time you retire, you're not necessarily in a really low tax bracket, and your RSP balance can be substantial. 2 nice problems to have. With stacked income sources like RRSP withdrawals, CPP, OAS, and possibly investment income, a pension, and corporate income, your total retirement income can easily push you right back up into a relatively high marginal tax rate. So if you defer too long and kick that can down the road too far, so to speak, you're just creating a bigger tax problem. That's where the meltdown strategy comes in. It's about reducing your RSP gradually, on your terms, before it becomes a tax bomb in your 70s and 80s. Part 2, the meltdown strategy, how it works. Over my 30 years of investment and financial planning, I've seen a lot said about RSP meltdowns. Some strategies come from a place of absolute hatred for RSPs. That's not where I'm coming from. Some are overly aggressive, taking way too much out too soon, even if you didn't need to. Some are overly complicated with many moving parts and layers of additional risk. For most of you, you're going to implement a basic meltdown strategy. For a few of you, you'll be more enticed by a leverage meltdown strategy. Since it's applicable to most of you, we'll only discuss the basic strategy here, but I'm open to discussing the leverage strategy on a one-to-one basis. The RSP meltdown isn't a single product or loophole. It's a coordinated income and tax strategy designed to reduce the RSP balance over time. The basic principle is that you intentionally withdraw from your RSP during lower income years, usually between retirement and age 70, to take advantage of lower tax rates and shrink the size of your future RRSP. This does 3 powerful things. Number 1, it smooths your tax bill over time instead of spiking it later. Secondly, it reduces OAS clawback risk, because smaller mandated RRSP withdrawals after age 71 mean less taxable income. And thirdly, it exposes your estate to potentially less tax as you've already leaked tax at lower brackets rather than leaving funds to be taxed at the highest marginal rate at passing. Let's look at what that means in real life. So you retire at 60 with a healthy sized RSP. You feel as though you don't need to touch it because you have a pension or non-registered savings. But if you just let it sit, by the time you convert to a RRSP at age 71, the mandatory withdrawals could easily push your taxable income into the next or subsequent tax bracket. That means higher tax rate and potentially OAS clawbacks that begin once income exceeds about $93,000 for 2025. Instead, for example, during your 60s, you could draw down the RSP strategically, keeping withdrawals in a low or moderate tax bracket and reinvesting the after-tax funds into a TFSA or a non-registered portfolio for use at a later date. Or if you didn't need the money and want to complete an estate transference goal, deposit into a tax-exempt life insurance plan to provide a tax-free benefit to your family on your passing. Over time, you've reduced the RSP balance, lowered future forced withdrawals, and given yourself far more control. That's the essence of the RSP meltdown. Part 3, why use this strategy early? Wealthier retirees don't wait until age 71 to think about taxes. They know that the years between retirement and mandatory RIF conversion are the most powerful tax planning years of your life. It's really a tax planning sweet spot. During this period, typically ages 60 to 70, your income is lower because you've stopped working but haven't yet started CPP or OAS. That gives you room to trigger income intentionally at lower tax rates. Here's how it's optimized. Firstly, determine if you need a meltdown strategy. Small RSP accounts don't necessarily need to be melted down early. No one wants to prepay tax unless it's absolutely beneficial. You need several years to make the strategy work because you're filling up those lower tax brackets each year. Defer your CPP and OAS so that those benefits don't overlap with large RSP withdrawals so you can leak more from your registered account. Understand your tax brackets and indexation each year so that you adjust income appropriately. With the excess money not needed for lifestyle, reinvest those after-tax withdrawals into TFSAs and non-registered accounts to create future tax flexibility. If 65 or older, be sure to convert an appropriate amount of RSP to RIF to qualify for the pension income tax credit if you didn't qualify previously, or to income split with your spouse if beneficial. If incorporating life insurance as part of the plan, start that early when you're healthy and can qualify for coverage at reasonable rates. The result? More personal control of your income instead of being controlled by the CRA's rules. Part 4, the hidden risks of doing nothing. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make in retirement is that they set their plans on cruise control or autopilot. Here's what happens when you do nothing. RIF withdrawals become mandatory at age 72, starting at about 5.4% and rising each year. By your 80s, those withdrawals can exceed 8 to 9% annually of your RIF balance. Because of that large RSP balance or RIF balance, your taxable income rises even though your spending might not. Your taxable estate grows larger than what you need to substantiate your goals. You no longer qualify for insurance due to deteriorating health as we get older. That creates a triple penalty. Number 1, high current income taxes. 2, OAS clawbacks. And 3, more total tax paid to the CRA through the disposition of your estate. Many retirees say, I don't need my RSP yet, and they want to let it grow untouched, only to find themselves later with a massive RIF and no flexibility to manage the tax burden. Don't react to the CRA's timeline. Proactively manage your situation. Part 5, coordinating the meltdown with other accounts. The most effective RSP meltdown strategies never happen in isolation. They're coordinated with your TFSA, CPP, OAS, and non-registered investments to create smooth, tax-efficient income. Here's what that coordination looks like. Make appropriate RSP and RIF withdrawals each year to fill the lower income tax brackets, creating income splitting opportunities and triggering pension income credits. Use non-registered assets that can provide tax-free return of capital or capital gains for just-in-time spending. Reinvest after-tax withdrawals into your TFSA, building a future tax-free income source. Delay CPP and OAS for higher inflation-adjusted benefits when you use your RSP strategically in your 60s. The goal isn't just to minimize tax in 1 year. It's to minimize tax across your lifetime and create long-term cash flow efficiency. Part 6, mistakes to avoid. Even the smartest strategy can backfire without proper planning. Here are common mistakes to avoid. Number 1, withdrawing too much too fast. Large lump sum withdrawals can push you into a higher tax bracket and erase the benefits. 2, stacking benefits such as OAS and CPP on top of a meltdown strategy. Understand the time frame for a meltdown strategy and the tax brackets you're working within. At times, additional income can choke the efficiency of the strategy. Number 3, not updating your plan as tax laws change. Thresholds and rules shift yearly. Understand the rules and indexing of tax brackets and adjust accordingly. Number 4, ignoring estate implications. Don't ignore the possibility of using life insurance to help this program work efficiently for estate transference goals. Number 5, spending the excess. You need to know yourself. If you're the type of person that sees money in their account and needs to spend it, then this process may not be for you. And 6, doing this strategy without a plan. If you're going to leak tax, you better have a substantive reason and a plan to make it work. Part 7, the real goal of the RRSP Meltdown. The RRSP Meltdown strategy isn't about avoiding taxes. It's about controlling timing and creating efficiency. You're paying less tax overall by spreading withdrawals across lower income years, reinvesting intelligently, and coordinating every income source. Don't leave this to chance. Run detailed projections that model future taxes, clawbacks, and estate outcomes. That's something every retiree, regardless of portfolio size, can benefit from. Because the goal isn't just to build a big RSP, it's to make sure you can spend and enjoy your retirement income without watching it disappear to taxes you could have planned around. If you're approaching retirement and your RSP is one of your largest assets, now is the time to be strategic. Don't wait until the CRA tells you when to withdraw. Build a plan so you stay in control of your income, not the other way around. If you don't want to go at this alone and you want a plan to manage your investments effectively, reduce tax, create sustainable income, and transfer your estate efficiently, click the link in the description to book your consultation. Let's take the next step.